Peace. I want y'all to listen to me very carefully because this is very, very, very important, right? There's a very small percentage of people, right, who are controlling the majority of us. I know you heard this, and I know y'all probably ignored it because we all want to think that we are our own people and our own individuals. Nobody's controlling me. I got my own mind. I got my own thoughts, my own ideas, my own attitudes, my own behaviors. Nobody's controlling me. Just one of the reasons why people always make the argument about religion. Oh, religion is a tool of control. But if we're going to feel like that about religion, why we don't feel like this about college? Why we don't feel like this about school? Why we don't feel like this about the television? Why we don't feel like this about the radio? Why we don't feel like this about newspapers, magazines, books? Because it's all the same thing. If you want to make an argument for religion so bad. Because look, think about this. Everybody says they have their own ideas, they're their own individual. But who taught you to think the way that you think? Who designed your curriculum from elementary all the way to like college? Who? Wasn't you? Who controls what they put on the television? Right? What is it called? Right? What does the TV have? The TV has channels. What is being shown in those channels? Programming. Yeah, they're programming you in those television channels and everything else that you watch on the media. When you go on Instagram, who is controlling your algorithm? Right? Who is what's the word I'm looking for? Who is kind of like anticipating or keep sending you reels connected to like the things that you watch? Right? Who's listening to your conversations to the point where you go on your Google search, things are just popping up? You think it's because of you? They're listening to you. They're watching you. And they're also anticipating based on what you like. They're using artificial intelligence to anticipate your moods, your feelings, and your behaviors just based on the things you like, the things that you spend too much time on social media, the videos. Why do you think after every reel there's another video that is similar to it? And you somehow think that you in so much control. You go to school, they teach you a certain history. They teach you certain ideals. The ideologies. When you go to college, they always teach you about the father of sociology, the father of psychology, the father of this, the father of that. And you have to, for the most part, take these basic curriculums before you even get into your own field. They control that. So not only school, then the movies that they allow for you to see. Programming. We don't even realize we're following a script. We don't even realize because they created our ideologies, which in turn becomes our thoughts. And after that, our thoughts are displayed in our attitudes, right? The way we feel about the world. Why you think you feel a certain way about the world? It comes from your thoughts, the ideas that you've been fed. And then your thoughts turn into your behaviors. And then it becomes your action. So if you can control the philosophies, the ideas from a young age that you put in the minds of people, and you get them to wholeheartedly believe these things, then you can control their actions. Because I just explained to you how to trickle down. You control the ideas, the philosophies. You can control the thoughts. You control the thoughts. You control the attitude. You control the attitude. You control the behavior. You control the behavior. You got a indoctrinated modern day slave. You don't even got to do much. But we think we so smart. I graduated. I'm educated. No, you indoctrinated. And I'm not saying that there's not some of us that break away from the spell and are able to think for our own selves and become critical thinkers. There are some of us who are like that. But you know what happens to those people? They usually tend to go against the masses, against the people who are asleep, against the people who think they're so smart. And you know what? They end up calling those people crazy. It's funny how, you notice how, not even funny, but you notice how every time somebody brings a different opinion that does not coincide with what the small percentage of people want you to really believe and push out to the masses, anytime you go against the grain of that, you notice how they call those people crazy? You notice how they ostracize those people? You know, they dismiss what they're saying. And nowadays they use medication. They'll call you crazy. They'll put you in a crazy house, sedate you. This is what they're doing nowadays. This is how they silence people. They say, oh, he has a mental disorder. He has a mental problem. To silence them. It's crazy, man. We following a pretty darn script. They tell you, oh, by this age, you should have graduated school. You should have went here. You should have went there. Have your house at this age. Get married at this age. Have kids at this age. It's a script. It's a pretty darn script we following. And a lot of people don't even realize it. They think they have their own thoughts. You don't even realize those are not your thoughts. They done infiltrated you from a long time ago. Long time ago. It's crazy, man. So I just be thinking, man, and I just be like, it's just crazy how everybody is in a frenzy. Everybody is in a frenzy. You know, and then they use the people, the small people, the small percentage of people. You know what they do? They use popular people to disseminate, whether it's fashion. If they decide, you know what, we want people to wear mini skirts again, or long skirts, if they wanted that, right? Or corsets, whatever they want, you know, they just get somebody influential, somebody that they know we gonna look up to. You know, they'll go get a LeBron James and just have him model whatever it is that they want us to go buy. You know what I'm saying? They'll have a celebrity. You know what I'm saying? They'll give an endorsement deal. You know, somebody of status, somebody of high influence. This is why the Negroes of high influence, they don't fall out of line. Because when they do fall out of line, they know how easy it is for them to lose what they have. They know how easy it is for the small percentage of people to take all that shit away. Because it's easy for them to just start calling you crazy, push some propaganda out there, some narrative about you. And because they already have the masses swayed, it's easy to make you look crazy. It's so easy. That's why, like, you know, so crazy. Like, you know, I was looking, let's just talk about flat earth, round earth. It's just an example, right? You know, there's videos, there's actual scientists who have their own research about why the earth is flat. But the way that the masses are swayed already, and I'm not saying, I don't really know what the earth is. I ain't a scientist. I'm not somebody that just believes shit on face value. But I'm just using this as an example. There are scientists who have made their cases as to why the earth is flat. But because we already have drank so much of the round earth Kool-Aid, we won't even look at what they gotta present. We won't even read it. We won't even try to hear it, try to understand it. And that's how closed-minded a lot of people are. But this just go back to, they have been raising you since a child to drink a certain type of juice. So by the time you get older, you don't want to drink no other juice. You don't want to stop drinking. You don't want to start drinking soda now. You've been drinking juice all your life. So when somebody present, if you've been drinking apple juice all your life, when somebody present grape juice, you might be like, I don't really like grape juice. I'm going to keep drinking apple juice. Because you've been drinking it for so long. And this is that's why it's so hard. Like, that's why I can't even really talk to certain people, because a lot of people don't even know what's really going on. They think they're their own individuals, but they don't even realize they following a script. You in a maze. We lab rats. Lab rats in the maze, thinking we making our own turns and our own decisions. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. But that's just one of the examples with the flat earth, round earth, that it's like there's other information out there, but we were not even gonna be receptive to it because they already got us in a certain place where we're like, now you crazy, get out of here, get away from me. We're not even open to dialogue. This is how they got us. We be arguing about history like it's facts. Another example, and this is one of the last examples I'm gonna give, and I'm gonna get out of here because I don't want to make this too long. Columbus, right? They had us drinking this juice that Africans got to this land as slaves, and they fed us that for so long, and they make sure we drink the juice and we enjoy the taste. They sweeten it up for us, and we believe that, to the point that today, when you try to tell black folks that there was Africans here before Columbus, that there was Africans here before the Europeans came, they won't freaking believe you. They're gonna tell you crazy. They're gonna tell you don't know what you're talking about. This is how much indoctrinated we are, that when somebody presents to you the truth, it is easier for those people to tell you you are crazy because they done drank so much of the juice, they in a goddamn coma. You can't see nothing else that you present to them. Why? Because it hasn't been stamped by the small percentage of people who control what we hear, what we see, what we think, what we consider facts. Come on, man. I had an argument with somebody trying to tell them the other day, everybody wasn't enslaved. But because we've been fed that for so long, you was a slave. Slave. You got here as a slave. You know, y'all was dumb. Y'all ain't know how to navigate the seas. We've been fed all of that in the curriculum, right? I had an argument with somebody trying to tell them, like, yo, everybody wasn't enslaved. We didn't get to the Americas as slaves. Some people, like, you can't even talk about that with people. They will fight you. Man, some of these Negroes will kill you. How dare you say massa wrong? How dare you say massa wrong? Well, watch your mouth, boy. That's how some of these Negroes will fight you to the death for the ideologies that the massa don't force fed them. They don't force feed us no more. We running. You know, Malcolm X said this, right? He said, only a fool will let his enemy educate his children. Now, don't get me wrong. College has helped people rise out of poverty. It has. But college is pointless if you go there for anything other than STEM. See, because they can't play with the math and the science. I mean, they do play with it to a certain extent. But anything outside of STEM is an ideological attack on who you are. So, most of y'all probably not going to really watch this or take heed. But ask yourself, why do you think the way you think? Why do you view the world the way that you view the world? Why do you feel about yourself the way you feel about yourself? Ask yourself, is it your own thoughts? Where do your thoughts come from? What have you been reading from? Who have you been reading from? Was it your choice to read from these people? Or were you told to read from these people? Ask yourself all these questions. Whose ideologies do you take from? And even when you take from them, do you develop your own critical thinking and analysis? Do you look at other people who are contrary to those ideologies that you take from? Do you see what's their argument? What's their point of view? Do you cross-reference and then come to your own conclusion? Or do you just go with what the majority feeds you and what they call factual and implement that? Ask yourself. Peace.